Welcome back, I'm Sean, and today we're checking out a beefy speaker that is loud enough to cover most of your outdoor party needs, and if you need more volume, this also have a party trick up its sleeve, so let's check it out.
In the still of the night, gazing up at the sky, when the stars began to fade, dimming lanterns in our eyes, thought there was nothing to find. I stopped searching for a reason, just let the world...
So this speaker was sent over to me by Soundcore for review, but this is not a sponsored post and my review will be based on my honest and unbiased opinion. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any future tech reviews. So the Soundcore Boom 2 Plus here comes in at a price of $249 or about 1,180 Malaysian ringgit, and this is something that you can really bring around for your tailgate parties or outdoor birthday parties, and it's got volume to spare even in those events, so if you're interested in buying one, do check out my links below. So this is a big speaker and it does compete with other speakers in the range such as the Soundcore's own Motion Boom Plus, JBL's Boombox 3, and if you compare specs to price ratio, you're seriously getting a super good deal here with Soundcore. So starting with the weight here, the Boom 2 Plus is decent in weight, coming in at about 3.8 kilos, and although that is a good weight, comparing it to the JBL which comes in at almost 6 kilos, which is quite heavy to lug around. So the whole speaker unit here is rugged and it's built specifically to do that, and the plastic around the entire unit here, everywhere that you can touch, really is solid, like military spec plastics, and they just got tough written all over it. So at the top here you get a very nice handle as well as a gloss piece here at the top with the handle saying Soundcore, and at the bottom of the handles here are grooves so that your fingers can sit nicely inside, that distributes the weight on your fingers. And next to that you also get two metal hooks here that you can loop the included strap to carry the speaker around, and even the strap is like over-engineered system where you can loop through the metal piece, which is really cool. Also another Easter egg here, and inside those hooks here you can actually see the word boom. So this shows the attention to details that Soundcore puts into their design of their speakers, which is really cool. So below here are also 8 buttons that you can very easily do almost everything that you want here with your speakers without going into the app. And at the side here are 2 huge passive radiators that has this super cool looking grille and the LEDs inside that dances and changes color to the beat, which is extremely cool looking. And I like how it is not overdone here with the LEDs, because there is no other LEDs around here, just at the side, and that adds a really nice touch to the entire speaker. And at the front here, you're gonna get a very nice grille with the Soundcore logo in the middle here, and inside there's also 4 drivers in total, and Soundcore calls them 2 woofers in the middle here, as well as 2 small tweeters at the side here, driving upwards of 100 to 140 watts of power depending on the mode that you're in. So behind the speaker here there is no grills, but some design with the Soundcore wording there, and also a small flap inside here that hides both a USB-C port as well as a 3.5mm auxiliary jack. So you might think that the bottom here is just basic since no one really looks underneath the speaker, but Soundcore gave it a very nice design touch here that matches the back here with some rubber feet that help the speaker stay on your desk. So there are 8 buttons here, and the speaker allows you to control most aspects of your speaker. Starting from the left here, you're going to get your power on or off button, and the second button here is the Bluetooth button, which is also the button you use to put the speaker into pairing mode for multi-point connectivity. And next to that is the volume up and down button here, both of this, which in this case is solely a volume button and it doesn't allow you to skip tracks, but solely for volume control. And the middle here is the play or pause button, so press it twice for skipping tracks forward and 3 times to skip your tracks backwards. And the next button here is the lighting effects button to allow you to switch between all the different light modes available, and you can also hold this button to turn the lights off. So next to that is the party cast button, and here you can also link and connect this speaker to multiple different speakers, and we'll talk a little bit about this in the feature section later. And lastly is the bass up 2.0 button to enable or disable bass up, and I can say that the difference here is night and day. So Soundcore rates this speaker to have a battery life of 20 hours, but this is rated with music playing at about 50% and with the lights turned off. But even with that, you're still getting quite a lot of endurance with a speaker like that. But when things go south and you really need to top up your speaker, your tunes don't have to stop, because there is pass-through charging here, meaning you can plug it in to charge while your music continues to rock. And that USB-C is also dual directional port, meaning you can get inputs and outputs here, so you can also use this speaker as a large power bank to charge up your phone. So no fun having a speaker if your phone battery dies. And this speaker also supports up to 30 watts fast charging, so your iPhone 15 Pro Max that takes in 27 watts can fully enjoy this feature. So with this speaker, you get a comfortable listening volume at around 15% and kind of shows you the power that you're dealing with. Around 40% you get a loud listening volume for personal space, and around 60% this is outdoor volume level, and you definitely can hear this from some distance away. And blasting it to about 90%, I honestly don't dare to even play it for about 1 second before someone calls the cops on me. So if you're wondering whether this speaker has the power or volume for most of your party needs, the answer is yes. And again, this is only one speaker, and we haven't even talked about daisy chaining this speaker. So for an outdoor speaker, these have very good features that you'll definitely love. And for starters, you're getting a Bluetooth 5.3 chipset here, so it'll support you with most of your device and still be relevant couple of years down the road. And on top of the bass up 2.0 technology, you're also getting good power with this speaker. And in regular mode, the speaker has an output power of 100 watts, and in bass up mode, that gets amplified to about 140 watts peak power, which is insanely loud. So the passive radiators at the side here is also really large and has the performance to move liquid when being played, which is quite cool. Although most passive radiators would do that. But because this speaker is fully sealed, you can actually get an IPX7 water resistant rating here, so you can bring this to your pool parties. But if your friend accidentally kicks the speaker into the pool, that's okay because the speaker is also floatable. So Soundcore's Party Cast feature is great, so you can connect this speaker up to 100 of the same speaker. 100. So you can just link all of them up around your outdoor area to cover an entire backyard filled with speakers. And I honestly don't know the use case that someone would need 100 of these speakers, but do let me know if you know such use case. So Soundcore also says that this speaker goes up to a maximum volume of 103 decibels, and to give you some context, at my church worship team with loud speakers in an auditorium generates about 95 decibels, which is really loud, that I usually just use earplugs in church, and this speaker goes up to 103. Of course, it's different because at church it's an open space, and for the Soundcore it's rated when the speaker is right in front of you, so do take note of that. So another thing to note here is that there isn't any microphone on the speaker, so you can't use it for your voice calls. And finally, even with an outdoor speaker, you're getting multi-point support on this, and it's the type of multi-point that doesn't switch immediately when you play music on your second device. But after you pause the first device, it gets swapped over in around 1 second, which is pretty cool. So the Soundcore app is very basic for the Boom 2 Plus, and at the homepage here under audio you will get to see your speaker here, and this is of course in beta mode, so it's blurred out. And you also get to adjust your volume here, enable or disable the bass up 2.0, and also play around with the equalizer. And under the preset equalizer you get to choose from 4 different types of presets and also a 9-band manual EQ to play around with. Under lights, you get to choose all the different lighting effects here and also to customize its brightness and its color, and in other settings, this is where you get to update your firmware as well. So that's all the features you get in the Soundcore app. So I really like the sound signature here, and for a loudspeaker that many would consider volume is more important than sound quality, and I'm surprised that Soundcore really put work into making this speaker sound really good. I'm mainly testing this in the Soundcore signature EQ mode, and this is my experience. So let's start with the different sub-bass performance that you get here. For a very specific sub-bass sound signature, this speaker excels like crazy, giving you insanely deep subwoofer level bass performance. But that is why I like Doing It Right by Daft Punk, because you actually get like at least 5 levels of different sub-bass performance here to test, and you can hear that the extreme deep bass doesn't get generated too well with this speaker. But for the 2 sub-bass frequencies that does get generated, they are exceptional. So mid-bass performance here is solid and powerful since it is higher frequencies than the lower sub-bass, so this gets generated strong and punchy. But why solely listen to sub-bass, right? And the other frequency here performs really well as well, and mids here is fantastic, giving you an extremely crisp and clear signature and giving female vocals especially that extra edge of crispiness. So highs on this speaker is also very nicely rendered with clear hi-hats and cymbals, and have very good separation overall from the other frequencies thanks to the great active crossover on this speaker, and overall a very great sounding party speaker. Honestly blew me away.
floor. I just need a little more. Rocking out too low, not sure. Making the things swing back and forth. Look at us, we're out of sorts. Thank God we're not keeping score. Losing our mind to cannibal corpse. Making that thing swing back and forth.
So latency is not something that is usually discussed in speakers like that. I like to be thorough, and what if someone wants to use this speaker for gaming down the road? So let's find out. So in general, gaming with PUBG sees very little amount of delay in real time, and you're most likely not going to notice it. When slowing it down, you definitely do see the delay. But the good news here is watching movies and videos on this is perfectly good. Anyways, let's take a look at the latency performance of this speaker. So I love the overall execution of this speaker, and I know many will still swear by their JBLs for proper outdoor performance, and I'm not saying that these will definitely win over JBL fans, but I think it's a good option for someone not trying to fork over Sony or JBL level price, but still wants a great sound and rugged outdoor performance. So I think that's my take with the Soundcore Boom 2 Plus. So that is it for this review. If you find this video helpful, smash the thumbs up button, share this video everywhere, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.